Hi everybody, here's Krystian from TeamworkCast.
What's up, Netrunners? It's Ben from PeachHack.
And this is a Netrunner TeamworkCast. This is 28th of February 2015, Mage Store Düsseldorf Store Championship. It is still the third round. This time, game number 2. This is JawZ versus René. This is Blue Sun again. This time, this is a super glary card there, but that is Leela. How are you doing, Ben?
I am doing great. Looking forward to another Blue Sun game. Now, you had said that Blue Sun was pretty popular in your area.
Super popular, very difficult. Now it became even more popular after Order and Chaos because there's just so many opportunities for Weyland. And Blue Sun is really great because you can score things through. You have the economy to score things through, but you also can have the option to kill. And it's like both of them is like very difficult to play around.
Sure. Now, would you say that a more glacier-y build up big servers, Blue Sun and score agendas is more popular, or the murder your face off and explode your entire block Blue Sun is more popular?
So the weird thing is like you can do both with Blue Sun, and it's like you just include 3 scorches in a glacier deck, and you're done, right? I mean,
Sure.
Look at this. Look at this. There's like a curtain wall, which is like the biggest ice in the game, one of the biggest ice in the game, and it's being oversighted AI. So if that gets bounced back, he gets like 14 credits of it, and he can reset it later on. Ooh, inside job, nice.
Bounces over it. Now, that doesn't break it, so
Nope.
But he is going to get into HQ. Now, putting the oversight over the curtain wall over HQ signals to me that there's agendas in HQ.
Maybe, yeah.
Are there?
Oh, and there's an agenda! Oh, and then bouncing another ice. That's Leela. Oh, emergency shutdown!
Oh my gosh! Leela! Too good.
Leela! God, I love her so much.
You know, actually, I think the oversight counter stays.
Yeah,
on the,
that's something. René always insists that it was this way, but I think he misread the FAQ.
Yeah, it puts itself on the card as a hosted condition counter, so,
Yeah, so
it stays there.
It should
and
be
then it
there.
counts out.
Oh,
jeez! Oh, the most brutal Leela turn ever.
Oh,
Holy
yeah, I
cow.
love it. That's why I'm a big fan of Leela. And I see some people who were very skeptical about Leela now coming around. She is a powerhouse. She is the thing that will bring down Andromeda.
Oh my gosh, what a turn!
Great, love it. So now everything is open. René know exactly that there's a curtain wall of HQ, so he doesn't care. Like, JawZ will have... It will take ages for JawZ to rest that thing.
Yeah, HQ might as well be wide open right now.
It's,
Does he have? He has another oversight in hand.
That's great. That's good. Will he risk it though? What if another thing like this happens?
He's got to give him a second thought. Does he have another emergency shutdown?
Oh yes! Oh man! That's a huge exchange of blows in those first 2 turns right now. I'm loving it.
But yeah, R&D's wide open, and I think that was probably a piece of ice. Yeah.
But seeing the agenda wouldn't have helped anyway. Leela cannot bounce anything. I always hate it when I get an agenda. There's nothing to bounce. Ugh.
And René opts to shake those tags before JawZ gets too much money.
Now, I wonder, can you install 2 oversight AIs on an ice?
Well, Oversight AI is an operation that becomes a hosted condition counter. So you play the operation to res the ice and then put the oversight on the ice. So you can't...
Oh!
Yeah. Now, so if you had left the original oversight there like it was supposed to, you can play another oversight to res it, and then it has 2 hosted condition counters that do the same thing.
So does oversight AI stay on the card like hosted, or does it get trashed into archives?
If the ice gets de-res with emergency shutdown?
No. If you play it, because you said it's
no, it doesn't get trashed. It stays on the ice until the ice goes away.
All right. So we see a security testing. And there's a run on HQ. This time things have changed. This time there's a changeling here. Strength 4 could be a sentry, but now is a barrier.
Changeling is one of my favorite morphable ice.
Yeah, it's really good. Like turning it into sentry makes it really powerful because it's strength 4, something that's very difficult to deal with. And we see a run on R&D, and there is a Caduceus. Things are turning around to Blue Sun.
Yeah, I mean, you get 13 net free credits, and things suddenly become a lot more possible.
That's a very dynamic start here, and of course René also had brought out a R&D interface. So if he gets through that, Caduceus thinks.
It's very true. I mean, Caduceus is porous. If he has the money to get through it, he can.
Wow, look at this. He doesn't increase the strays.
Oh, he is making a run.
He's thinking about how to increase the strays. The first trace went through, so he got the 3 credits. But now the second trace, he thinks about this. He puts 2 into it, I think.
So that would make it impossible to break.
So it makes it impossible for René to break the trace, because he would see 2 cards, and of course that's always a possibility for like a 3-pointer, and then that's half of the game already.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the point was, but well, that's true. He wasn't counting. It wasn't like he just ran it blind.
Yeah. All right. So after this, it looked almost as if Leela had delivered like a punch to the corporation that the corporation wouldn't be able to recover from, but indeed they could recover from it.
Yeah. Leela really opened with a haymaker there. But, JawZ has recovered quite well.
Yeah.
Though he's still 3 points down.
Yeah, that's true. And there's another install on the remote server. Could it be the curtain wall right now?
It's certainly possible. The curtain wall is somewhere lurking on the board or in the hand.
All right, there's a Desperado. And getting the security testing with Desperado, now getting 3 credits for every archive run. So JawZ needs to really put an ice there.
Yeah, and I imagine that René's probably going to want to put on a lot of R&D pressure, so that because JawZ has 2 ice res over R&D or over his centrals, the HQ and R&D, so those can't be popped back unless he uses unready shutdown. Yeah,
or Crescentus or something. We don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true. I wonder if he's running Crescentus. That would be fun.
But I think as leader, I'm not concerned about rest ice that much, because it's always possible that Blue Sun will take this ice away to get the credits.
That's very true.
And then it becomes unrest again.
With Changeling, that's certainly a possibility, being 5 free credits, basically.
Yeah. And of course, on the other hand, Changeling can get like a counter, so it can be advanced, so then you don't want to...
Sure, if he advances it once, then he's committing to lay it down.
So JawZ icing up the archives, putting a card in that little server of his. Is that already an agenda? Ooh, Beanstalk Realities.
Beanstalk. Interesting.
In Blue Sun, do you really need extra money, bro?
I feel like no. I mean, even my idea with Beanstalk is that you typically include it if you want to be able to recover quickly from something like an account siphon.
Yeah.
Which if you're playing in a siphon heavy meta, I mean, siphon's a good card, you're going to see it. But, I mean, with 1 credit, you can oversight something. So, I don't know. It seems like a really interesting include.
Yeah, you would certainly want to include it in a core set Weyland, because then you get 4 credits out of it, because then it becomes a hedge fund basically. So we see a Mimic, and then he gets through the Caduceus for 2 credits. Sees
Executive Boot Camp, I think.
Doesn't trash it, and there's a Jackson.
Rest in peace.
And the Jackson goes.
Executive Boot Camp coming 1 turn too late to search for Jackson, to save him.
Well, there's more than one more Jackson in this deck. I wonder why René hasn't trashed the bootcamp, because that bootcamp is basically a Jackson, you know.
Well, he might have been. I think he had 5 credits, and he may have wanted to save it for something more important to trash.
That's true. Do you have to always keep in mind that it might be an ADPD or something?
Yeah, exactly. You never want to run without at least 4 credits when you access.
Yeah.
It's always very, very sad when you access an NPD.
The saddest feeling, isn't it?
It's so depressing.
That's one of the reasons to... Guys, if you're watching this, please start running the Angel of Kayamba in Valencia, just so people stop using NAPD. Just because of this.
I feel like people are still going to run NAPD anyway. It's so good.
Yeah, that's the saddest thing, because NAPD is not an agenda you want to score. It's there to just fill space.
Exactly.
Just to make it then run miserable.
Ooh. Upgrade on that scoring server. I wonder what that face-down card has been this whole time.
Ooh, the lots of yellow dice being... Ooh, advance on that card.
So the face-down card was the upgrade. So what would that be in Blue Sun? Ash would be an interesting splash. So would Caprice. That'd be a lot of influence.
Ash would be really, really hardcore. I don't know, Caprice seems like...
That would be insane.
Yeah.
Something that I've seen in our area is Will-o'-the-Wisp sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely possible, yeah.
Or it could be... I don't know, Hokusai Grid, who knows?
Anything is possible. Oh, there we go. The unscorable agenda is being scored. And there is a bounce going on. Oh, I don't know if JawZ has experience with
yes. Spending your whole turn to score.
With Leela. With Leela, you really want double eyes Oreo Centrals just to prevent this kind of stuff. Now HQ R&D is way open. I mean, there could be even like an indexing going on right now.
Indexing, Maker's Eye, anything is possible.
Ooh, or even drop a medium and go like, yeah.
Sure, yeah. With R&D interface, medium and R&D interface would be weird.
Oh, let's do it to Laundry. Get 2 cards and credits out of this.
Looks like something trash. No?
Not sure. And not sure what that is either.
It's too bad he couldn't trash any of those. Then he'd be able to see at least one new card. But with another R&D run.
You know, you have to just play showing off at this point.
Now, Corroder comes down, which opens up HQ, but JawZ can just advance it once and make it an impenetrable sentry because Mimic can't get through it.
And that's what really makes a changeling strong. Because it's strength 4, when it becomes a sentry, it is out of range for Mimic, unless you have something like a data sucker.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's now we see the power of changeling really shining through.
I remember playing against the changeling once, and my only sentry breakers were fairies and I think a femme. It was bad. Like I couldn't recur things fast enough, and eventually that server was like, well, I guess I'm not getting through it again.
Absolutely, yeah. The only problem with changing is super expensive.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. So, I'm really curious as to what that upgrade is.
Yeah, I mean, especially as a runner, you're gonna ask yourself, "Oh, the changing gets back? Huh?
Interesting.
Huh?
I wonder if he'll want to relocate that to R&D so that he can make that big old sentry over R&D to make it impenetrable.
Because you gotta expect that René will try to make more runs on R&D at this point. He has the R&D interface there, so he wants to see it do things.
Absolutely. I think there is another thing onto that scoring server. I wonder if that was the executive boot camp. I wonder if this might be some sort of bluff where he's just trying to bait a run, or it could be an actual agenda. I didn't see one in hand.
Look at this. HQ wide open and advancing once that card. It's gotta be the changeling, right? So he advanced the ice and exposed everything. René gets out a John Masanori chatting with babes all day long, security testing the HQs, getting a card and 3 credits.
Leaving HQ open against a criminal player is risky, especially having been siphoned once already.
At 15 credits, though, do you really care? Ooh, I mean, HQ interface! Alright, but is there really an agenda there? Would have been he left the HQ open if there was...
Well, maybe that's what he wants you to think. If he leaves HQ open, that means there's no agendas there, but there actually is.
Mind games.
Mind games. That's what I love about Netrunner.
So there's an interns, and there's a Kadoosh. The Kadoosh bag.
I don't think I've heard that one before. I probably should have. Coke bottle cap hanging out on the playmat.
All right. So what's happening now? That assault on HQ didn't go so well.
Well, it gave him information. The Kadoosh, unless he has 2 Kadooshai. Kadoosh is not on the board. Yeah. Unless he has multiple Kadooshis.
And you have to keep in mind, I mean, he is a Desperado, so that's like clicking for a credit in the worst case scenario.
So good. Desperado will never leave.
difficult to compete with that. Although I'm a doppelganger kind of person, personally.
Are you? Doppelganger, I think, was my first love in terms of consoles. It's a lot of fun,
especially with Leela. It's difficult to make it work, but I think eventually people might, like, there might be with enough support cards, doppelganger might become a more powerful thing.
Security test. Ooh, executive boot camp. Get to deny those 3 credits.
And yeah, the trashing the security bootcamp and getting I'm gonna assume this is going to be Jackson. Nope, this is going to be Sexbot.
I think he has a Jackson in hand is the thing. I think I may have seen it. I may be making stuff up again. That makes sense though.
That's really so great about the Executive Bootcamp, and I'm starting to include it in more and more of my corp decks. I mean, it already looked like a good card, but as you start using it, you realize how powerful it is. That you can just get a Jackson. It becomes the second Jackson, basically.
Sure. Well, it becomes a Jackson when you need it.
It becomes a Jackson when you need it. It also becomes a Sexbot if you need it. It also becomes IT department when you need it.
It'd be fun to actually, you know what? It's a paid ability, right? So if somebody's running on HQ, you could pop it for like a snare into hand. That'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, that's also something you can do. Also for, dedicated response team and a kind of like a kill deck, it can become an Ash.
Yeah.
If you want to start scoring.
I think it's only assets. Can you get upgrades with it?
Oh, that's an upgrade, right?
Yeah, Ash is an upgrade.
Alright, can't become an Ash. Apologize.
No ashes. Nobody.
No ashes.
He did trash the Sexbot before he was able to use it.
Yeah. The
no more Sexbot ads.
Yeah. But nothing is rest, so perfect board for Leela right now to do shenanigans whenever the thing is scored. What is that in that server?
Yeah, there's been no pressure on it. He's made no attempt to even run it. I wonder if he's purposefully not running it to keep things unres so that he can pop stuff back. It would be a little crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's not even being scored either. I mean, just drawing cards. Drawing those cards.
He does have an Atlas in hand at this point, so HQ is a little bit more vulnerable in terms of wanting to protect it more.
That's true.
And he did, I think, also draw Jackson, so he can do another open remote shenanigan where he can deny the security testing.
I wonder. So I'm gonna make a prediction. I think one of the ice on the remote server is the curtain wall that we saw earlier.
Ah, the outermost one. That would make sense. So to break a outermost curtain wall critter, I believe is 11 credits. It's already at strength 2, and it needs to be boosted 8 times and then break 3. So yeah, 11 credits.
So curtain wall's mortal enemy is Inside Job, and I think that it's a 2 ice server because of Inside Job.
Ah, yes. That was actually one of my favorite things when I was playing Silhouette, was Inside Jobbing 2 or 3 ice deep Blue Sun servers.
Yeah, it's so good because they have to rest so much stuff just to stop you. So yeah, like resing like a 14 credit curtain wall just so you encounter the second ice.
Feels good, man.
Yeah, it's really painful for the.
You could do that as Blue Sun because you just get the money back, right?
Yeah. So that's not. But you know, if you're low on credits, that becomes the the thing. And then of course Silhouette maybe uses not the Inside Job, but maybe she uses what's the card again? Cerebral Static.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, running interference. What I'm saying, running interference.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So now it becomes a 28 credits curtain wall.
I don't see it that much. I was running interference, and I think my Ken Tenma deck. That one's a lot of fun too.
I was running it especially in Leela, because in Leela you don't want to have rest ice there.
Exactly.
And sometimes it was such a surprise for runners, especially in like glacier decks. It's like you have built like this impenetrable fortress. It's like nope, everything you rest there is going to be twice as expensive. And everything breaks down.
Yeah.
Security testing at Jackson being popped though, so no security testing there. And we see a passport we forgot to mention, but there is a passport out right now. So central servers are the entire Breaking Through suite is out there. Although remote servers is because the passport cannot be used on remote servers. So if there is a code kit on a remote server, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and if that is a scoring server and you're trying to make it as taxing as possible to get through, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a toll booth over there as well.
Yeah, that's something I'm really that I really find runners have the criminals have a problem right now to deal with code gates. You gotta like import Zool or something, and that's really painful, like influence wise. Or you gotta run something like Rex, but that's also like very clunky, and you don't know what you want to install at any given point.
I've been seeing 2 Rex, 1 Passport in a lot of criminal decks lately.
Yeah, that's basically the standard trick right now. But it's like, what do you want to install right now? If you install the Passport, the corporation can react very quickly and just install code gates on remote servers, forcing the Rex out of you. All right, so we see a run on the R&D, and there is indeed the changing as expected. So now it's a strength 4. And the run sentry not breakable.
Oh, and he gains attacks with John Masanori.
That he does indeed. He did remove the tags earlier from the scorch from the
account siphon.
Account siphon, yes.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yeah, now he removes the tag.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if he has any way to deal with this sentry. I think the only way he's going to really be able to do anything about it is probably run HQ emergency shutdown and pop back somehow.
He gotta have fairies, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there's no fairies going around. Well, he probably has. He's got to have fairy, right? He's a criminal.
Yeah, I mean, at least 2 fairies you have to have. I mean, 4. I really like 3 fairies because I really want to see them like the first time around. Before, friggin' Grail Eyes came around, and then now that's out of the window now.
That's true. Double hedge fund for our Blue Sun friend brings them up to a healthy, 19 credits?
Yeah, like 19 credits, which could as well be infinite credits at this point.
Now, I haven't seen anything in his hand in terms of kill potential, though. We haven't seen any Sea-Source, any Scorch.
This could be vegan Blue Sun.
Vegan Blue Sun?
Yeah, Blue Sun that doesn't scorch.
With no teeth. I like it.
There's a triple server there though, with 2 upgrades, I guess.
I mean, there could be another Jackson, or he's just waiting for something to come in. But I think he did. I did see an Ash in hand.
Ooh, Plascrete.
Plascrete, you gotta respect the Scorch.
Yes.
You just have to assume it's in every Weyland deck.
Alt Art Plascrete, Alt Art Katie. Kati,
yes, thank you. That's her real name.
I actually know a person who's called Kati, because that's a common way to pronounce his name in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Maybe she's from Germany.
I'm still going to call it Katie, I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. That's when you speak in English, just try pronouncing stuff in English way, so... Yeah.
I'm sorry, real Kati out there in the universe.
Yeah.
For my insensitivity.
Nothing personal.
More ice on HQ.
Yes, indeed. So the only... I literally like the stair case. Oh! Out of nowhere, suddenly advancing that thing in that server.
I wonder if this is... there's no way that could be an agenda that was sitting there.
If that's an agenda, I'm gonna laugh so hard about this.
I've got to assume this is a Grendel refinery. Because if this is an agenda, I'm gonna flip out.
That could be the case. If that could be a Grendel refinery, you're completely right.
I hope it's agenda though. I'm saying it's gotta be.
But
I want it to be. It can't be, but I want it to be.
This gotta send the sweat glands of René into overdrive right now. Like this is really. Oh man, it is.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That was a Pyrrhec just sitting there forever. What?
Taking its sweet time.
All right, now here's the trick: JawZ can choose, since it's his turn, he can choose which ice to res first.
Yes.
And
first you res the
René
ice.
chooses to pop back.
Yeah, that's something that you learn very quickly with Leela. So yeah, there's a curtain wall. As expected, the outer ice was the curtain wall, and now its course is weaker because it's not the outer ice anymore.
Sure.
So we see the archives being de-iced. So I guess.
Interesting. Wow.
So I guess JawZ was just looking for the double ice his HQ before he scores this through. Like this was.
I guess
weird.
so. He just wanted to wait until he was safe.
Yeah.
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's insane to me that he would just install that there.
I guess if you survive the first round without the runner running on it, you are in a more safer area as a corporation. You don't need to hurry anymore.
Yeah, that was a great bluff. Great job, James.
Yeah. Wow. So now it's just 2 points for JawZ to win this, and René is really struggling right now. He really needs to start to see agendas, and that R&D looks really something as a place that you really need to get through it now. I mean, you can fem it. Why not fem it? You don't.
Because it's 9 credits.
Because they can't take it back anyway. And, yeah. I think that might be like the popularity of Blue Sun, especially in our meta, might be like I see criminals not using fem anymore because it's just so expensive and there's just so many matchups where you just don't use it anymore. So rather you like splash in I don't know David or something.
I mean, you hardly ever want to play a fem straight up, right? You're gonna want to cheat it out in some way.
As criminals, you sometimes can afford her. If she gets you in once, that's enough.
That's true.
But if she wins the game for you. But like in this case, it's like on a long run, she won't make anything cheaper here right now.
True. Well, at least Fem, even if he pulls it back, he'll be able to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 credits to get through.
Ooh!
Double R&D. Well, now he's got 3 R&D interfaces out now, right?
Yep. 8 credits for 2 R&D interfaces. And down to 2 monies, though. I guess he has a solution for this.
I guess he does. I wonder what it's going to be, though.
I'm thinking you want to fem it once and run once.
Yeah, and that would be...
Or maybe Inside Job. Inside Job would be great.
There you go. Inside Job. That'll do it. That is a card.
That exists.
That's a card that exists. That is a core card.
It's going to be a very expensive Maker's Eye then.
So how will JawZ respond to that? Is he expecting an Inside Job? Will he ice up?
As a JawZ, I would just make sure that there's ice on R&D right now.
It's always tricky. I kind of wonder if he should have held back the R&D interfaces. If he has the Inside Job in hand already and just taken money so that he would install both and then Inside Job.
And then Inside Job, yeah. Oh, so we see an install and that's scoring server. So if this is the winning agenda, things will get problematic. So this could just win straight the game if René can't get through the curtain wall.
True, but that curtain wall is only 6 strength, not 10 strength.
That's true. It's easier. So now it's like what? 4 credits and 3 subroutines, right?
Yeah. So it's 4 credits plus
7 credits to get through it.
And he's got 9 credits sitting on Kati.
Oh man, look at both players are super stressed
this is really
out right
tense.
now. Yeah.
JawZ hoping, maybe going for the win here with a potential agenda install.
Oh, thinking where to. Oh, he's thinking about installing an ice. There's going to be. Oh, there we go. R&D, making sure there's not going to be another agenda leak from R&D that will compromise the scoring server.
Now, what could happen? Let's see. JawZ is at 10 credits.
That's not a lot.
Now, what he could do is make a run somewhere that would make JawZ poor enough that he wouldn't be able to res whatever that ice is.
There is indeed a run. Ferry. Oh, there's the ferry that we talked about. All right, yeah, ferry gets you in. That's also a good solution. All right.
Ferry, let's see.
Ferry and running. Second click running. No res. Ooh. Wow.
4 cards. I mean, he could win here or at least bounce a bunch of bounce.
Yeah, I mean, the least they can do is bounce that agenda to postpone. We see a thing. We see another thing. We see another thing. And a third thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, fourth thing. Nothing. Oh, we see the cards here. Thanks. But yeah, none of these are agendas.
That's oh my God.
And we see what René thinks of that.
I'm right there with you. And that is an agenda in that scoring server. It's an atlas. It's the scoring. It's the winning agenda.
Yeah, I have to say, in René's footsteps, I would have been as disappointed. I mean, this, you as a runner, you expect to see something when you see 4 cards, right?
Yeah, you gotta see something. And
he's got to run. He has to run this now.
So this is going to cost 7 to get through, and I'm expecting an Ash res here.
No rest on the. So he breaks no rest on outer ice. He breaks through the curtain wall for 7, which I hope this was 7.
That leaves him with 3 credits.
And that's a total.
This is 3. You know, actually, he could have boosted something, so he only had to lose. He didn't have to lose 2.
And that there's a handshake because that is indeed the Atlas. I wonder what kind of upgrade there was. Oh, there he has the Ash.
Yeah, there's the Ash.
I guess that was an Ash. Yeah, so there's no way René could have gotten into that server. Oh man.
Wow. Well, let's start it off with an amazing beginning for Leela.
Yeah.
But Blue Sun turns out they're still pretty good. If you can get it over Sacred Wall.
They can do things. I have to say, like René has gotten him some tremendous opportunities with his play. I mean, this last run could have been agenda. It could have been turned this game completely around.
4 cards, no agendas.
Yeah, just as happens. I mean, that's just it's a luck of a draw, right? Luck of a draw.
Luck of the draw. You win some, you lose some.
That's indeed the case. So, Ben, you have this channel called PeachHack, and can you tell our listeners, if they don't know about PeachHack already, what PeachHack is?
Yeah, PeachHack is a channel where I post videos that I've recorded from the North Georgia area meta in the States. Just our tournaments there. Also going to be streaming some stuff pretty soon. But anyway, you can visit the channel at peachhack.com. That'll take you straight there. It's youtube.com/dodgepong. And you can follow on Twitter, twitter.com/peachhack. To find out all about when new videos are going to be released and when I'll be streaming and stuff like that.
Excellent. So yeah, Ben, thank you for joining me for this series. It was a great pleasure having you on board.
It was my pleasure.
Excellent. So we will be back in the next episode with some exciting more games from this Düsseldorf tournament. Until then, we will hack the planet! Shut up and get in the car! Shut up and get the car!
Shit on me.
Well, shit on me.